Just found this old notebook on my bookshelf filled with early versions of fairy tales that I used to write. They have since been edited and typed up, but I thought I would share a couple of my favourites with you. The Loveful Tale of William and the Ailment of June, the miller's daughter. June was the daughter of the miller, and she worked in the mill. From the grinding of the wheat to the baking of the dough to the selling of the bread. She was well liked and much admired by the men in the village. But June was loved by none more than William, the son of the chandler. He, above all others, treated June with presents and gifts. And so it came to be that William plucked up the courage to propose to June and ask her to marry him so that they could live happily ever after. He bought a ring, and he picked some wild flowers, and he made his way to the mill by the river. William was received by the miller, who wore a grave countenance. "Miller, I have come this sunny morn to ask for the hand of your daughter June," William announced. "Alas and alack, the sun shines not for me this morn. We have received terrible news. June is very sick, and will almost certainly die before the week is out." William's heart broke that day, and he wandered home very sad indeed. The next morning, William visited the local apothecary in the neighbouring village. "Please, sir," he said, "I need medicine that will cure my love from almost certain death." The apothecary understood and smiled, bringing out a small vial. He said, "Try this nostrum on your girl. Its instant miracles will make your hair curl." For an unexplained reason, the apothecary spoke in rhyme. William bought the medicine and hurried back to the mill to heal June. He gave the vial to the miller, who administered it to June. But the medicine did not work. Next, William went to the warlock, who was feared by the village folk. He lived in the dark caves outside the village. "Please, sir," William said, "I need an enchantment that will cure my love from almost certain death." The warlock understood and smiled. He said, "I know of a spell, its effects are great. 'Twill heal the illness she has had of late." For an unexplained reason, the warlock also spoke in rhyme. The warlock taught the spell to William, who rushed to the mill, who taught the spell to the miller. The miller cast the spell on June, but the spell did not work. William was very sad now. It seemed as though there was nothing he could do to help June. That evening, William visited the witch, who lived in the woods outside the village. She possessed a grand collection of artifacts and relics that had fascinating histories, most of which were false. "Please, madam," William said, "do you have anything that might mend a broken heart?" It so happened that the witch knew the source of William's broken heart. She understood and smiled. She presented William with a crown golden and beautiful. She said, "This crown is no ordinary crown. It brings immortal life to the wearer, but only for as long as it is worn. Once the crown leaves the wearer's head, they will immediately die. Give it to June, make her wear it, and you shall live together happily ever after." For an unexplained reason, the witch did not speak in rhyme. William happily bought the crown and took careful heed of the witch's warning. He gave the crown to the miller, who placed it on June's head. And it worked. June was healed. The pair married within the month. They lived happily ever after for many years and had many children, and June always wore the crown. And when William died one summer's afternoon, June took the crown off her head so that they could walk to the afterlife together. The end.